Hello, and welcome to the Ethanol Producer Magazine podcast. My name is Katie Schroeder with Ethanol Producer Magazine. Today's guest is a trailblazer in the ethanol industry and a true leader in sustainable energy. Jodi Johnson, CFO of Gevo North Dakota, formerly known as Red Trail Energy. With a career rooted in financial expertise and shaped by deep commitment to innovation, Jodi made history by leading the first ethanol producer into the voluntary carbon market, establishing the largest registered carbon removal project of its kind. During her tenure as Red Trail CEO, she also guided the successful acquisition of the company, ensuring the company's long-term growth and its transition toward low-carbon synthetic aviation fuels. A farm girl turned finance leader, Jodi brings both grit and grace to the C-suite, and she's helping redefine what leadership looks like in the biofuel sector. We're honored to welcome one of the industry's most influential women to the show, Jodi Johnson. Welcome, Jodi. We're so glad to have you. Just to get started, could you share about the journey that led you to become who you are today?
Yes, my father really influenced my decision to pursue accounting. He owns a tax practice, so in high school, I would go over to his office some days after class and kind of help him there. And from there, that's where I decided, I wanted to pursue accounting. Originally, I had thought I'll probably go into public accounting and become a tax practitioner just like him. But while in college, I had an internship with the Theodore Roosevelt Medora Foundation, and that's where I really realized that private accounting was the area that I really wanted to go into and focus on that. I was with the foundation for 9 years, working my way up to being their controller before I decided to leave that position and join Red Trail Energy as their CFO. For 10 years, I was the CFO here at Red Trail Energy, and then in 2023, our CEO decided he wanted to retire, and the board of directors appointed me CEO. It was not really a position that I had anticipated for myself, not something that I had thought my career would turn towards. But, I really believe in strong leadership, that it's necessary during a transition period. And I really believed in our company and the employees and the vision that we had set with our board of directors. So I felt comfortable stepping into that role. At that time, we were unsure if we were going to be acquired by another entity. So the majority of my time as CEO was spent working through due diligence and helping to facilitate the sale and just trying to ensure that there was a smooth transition for the employees here at Red Trail Energy, now Gevo North Dakota. Post-acquisition, I'm the CFO of Gevo's North Dakota operation. So I'm back into my financial role that's focused on the financial and strategic growth of our company.
That's so cool. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jodi. Our next question that I have for you is kind of about this transition. So Gevo North Dakota, formerly Red Trail Energy, achieved a significant milestone by entering the voluntary carbon markets. Can you elaborate on the initiative that kind of led up to this?
Yeah, in 2024, we became the first ethanol producer to enter the voluntary carbon market. So in 2022, we implemented our carbon capture and storage project, where we capture the CO2 emissions off of our fermentation process, and we store them in a Class 6 well that's located about 6,500 feet beneath our facility. This project significantly reduces the carbon footprint of the ethanol that we produce. It was a very complex and ambitious undertaking. It required, a lot of technical investment, extensive regulatory work, and collaboration with industry experts. But we felt that it was a crucial step for our ethanol facility to take in order to align our production with global sustainability goals and to ensure the long-term viability of our company. With this project, it opened up new carbon market opportunities for us that we were able to go into, and it really helped us demonstrate our commitment to innovation and environmental stewardship. And I believe it sets a new standard for what ethanol plants can achieve in reducing their emissions.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what were some of the challenges faced during the implementation of the carbon capture and storage, also known as CCS, project, and how did you overcome them?
As I had mentioned, we faced significant financial, technical, and regulatory challenges. There was really no set blueprint for what we were trying to do. We needed to navigate uncharted regulatory frameworks. We needed to make sure we could secure the necessary funding for the project, and also, needed to make sure that this technology could integrate into the current operations that we had at Red Trail Energy. There were moments of uncertainty, especially around the permitting and the compliance aspect of the project, but we just really remained committed to our long-term vision. We partnered with a lot of leading industry experts. We conducted rigorous planning and just maintained a transparent dialogue with the regulators. And I think that is what helped us kind of mitigate any of those potential risks and move forward with confidence. I would say ultimately, being adaptable and being committed to the vision is what really drove our success. And I'm really proud of what we have accomplished here.
Yeah, with good reason. It's an exciting milestone. So the next question I have for you is kind of more about that acquisition. So how did the sale of Red Trail Energy's assets to Gevo Inc. come about, and what does it mean for the company's future?
In 2025, we decided to sell our ethanol plant and carbon capture and storage facility located here in Richardson, North Dakota, to Gevo. It was really a strategic decision that was aimed at aligning our company with another company that's deeply committed to renewable fuels and sustainability. There's a goal to potentially expand our facility to produce synthetic aviation fuel with Gevo's alcohol-to-jet technology that they have. This transition really leverages the CCS project that we had implemented, and our ethanol is an ideal feedstock for the production of SAF. I believe it signifies a substantial move towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions in the aviation sector, but it also ensures the continued operation and growth of our facility located here in Richardson, North Dakota. And also it positions Gevo at the forefront of sustainable fuel production.
Thank you so much for that insight, Jodi. The next question is about kind of you and your background, and how has your background in accounting influenced your leadership style and decision making as a C-suite executive?
I think my accounting background really provides me with a strong analytical foundation that's been invaluable in any leadership role that I have been in. Understanding financial statements, risk assessments, and economic forecasting, it allows me to make data-driven decisions that not only benefit the short-term operational needs, but also have a focus on the long-term strategic growth of our company. Beyond the numbers, I would say accounting has taught me the importance of diligence, accountability, transparency, and those are other qualities I've also carried over into any leadership role that I have been in. I think these skills have been crucial for helping me to evaluate market opportunities and really came in handy with helping to facilitate the sale of our ethanol plant to Gevo. I know that leadership definitely requires a broader vision than just the financials, but I would think having that expertise is what really gave me the confidence to make tough calls, and help me to earn trust among our investors, employees, and other industry partners that I work with.
Awesome. The next question I would love to dig into is, what do you consider your most significant accomplishment at Gevo North Dakota?
I would have to say leading our entrance into the voluntary carbon markets. It was a groundbreaking achievement that really positioned our company as a leader in sustainable ethanol production. As I said, it took years of research and planning and a lot of collaboration, but it was an undertaking that I'm glad we took, and I'm very proud of what we accomplished with it.
That's great. So I guess I have a quick follow-up question. I would love, just for any of our listeners who don't know about the voluntary carbon markets, would you be able to just kind of explain what that is and kind of the significance of what that means for Gevo North Dakota?
With our carbon capture and storage project that we implemented, and capturing those CO2 emissions off of our fermentation process and permanently storing them, we are able to record how many tons of CO2 we have captured, and then we can go out and sell those tons into a voluntary carbon market. Puro Earth is the market that we are currently actively selling into.
Okay, so the last question I have for you today is, about kind of the future. And how do you see the future of the ethanol industry, especially concerning sustainability and environmental impact?
I believe that the future lies in really embracing sustainability and innovation to remain competitive in the evolving market. I think there needs to be a focus on carbon reduction strategies, fits CCS or other decarbonization efforts, and also a focus on improving efficiency. I think those are going to be critical to ensuring that ethanol remains a viable and environmentally responsible fuel option, especially as regulations and consumer preferences are shifting. I think there's a lot of uncertainty in the regulatory landscape right now, and our industry is really having to navigate a lot of shifting policies and market uncertainties. But I also think with those uncertainties, come other opportunities as well, such as the voluntary carbon markets that we have been discussing. Those are becoming a more viable path for ethanol producers that are looking to monetize their sustainability efforts, and I think they're going to provide a revenue stream that could help support the long-term industry growth as well and help support ethanol producers in their decarbonization efforts. Here at Gevo North Dakota, we remain forward focused. We want to stay at the forefront of these changes, ensuring that ethanol continues to play a key role in the global transition towards cleaner energy solutions.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Jodi. It's been great to meet you and learn more about Gevo North Dakota and moving toward the future of the ethanol industry.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a real pleasure.
Yes, absolutely.